This is a little different from my usual content, but it's really important because there's so much money to be made. And this is not me like trying to sell you guys something. I just want people to understand that journalism isn't dead. Right? Traditional journalism is dying. Traditional journalism, and if you're paying any attention to what's been going on in Palestine or in like different corners of the world when it comes to who's reporting what and how they're saying things, yeah, you're starting to see a lot of the gaps, a lot of the holes, especially with a lot of the pillars within the journalistic community. Think the BBC, New York Times, Washington Post, right? There's been a lot of that's been going on. Now, yes, I talk a lot about my child-free life. I talk a lot about decentering men. I talk a lot about how women and femme people can reprioritize and refocus their energy to help grow themselves instead of divesting from themselves to appease men, right? Like I talk a lot about that. Also, I just saw myself in this. It's giving the idea of a journalist. Anyway, but I do also say, hey, listen, guys, I'm a journalist. So with this, I kind of want to give a brief introductory for anybody that is considering freelance journalism. Why? Because there's a surprising amount of money that can be made if you play the game right. Like that's my entire income at this point. I very recently got monetized on YouTube. Very recently, to the point where I haven't even cashed in my first check. I don't even have a first check yet. So I don't know what that money's gonna look like. If you guys are curious about what that's gonna look like, please let me know, because I'm down to make a video. It's being full disclosure. I'm totally fine with that. But when it comes to freelance journalism, which is me, I'm an independent journalist. I am not tied to one specific company. And there's a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, nobody's really working. Nobody's able to get anything published at this point. Let me just show you everything that I've gotten published in the last 7 days? Let me be more specific, 7 business days. 7 business days? What day is it? Yeah, give or take, in the past week and a half. Also, this is not me bragging. This is literally just me showing people what the opportunities are that are out there before I dive into the how you can start figuring out if this is a thing that you want to do, whether it's as a side hustle that could potentially become a main thing or not. There's truly enough room in this space for more people. So now let me just give you some evidence. This is me in Business Insider talking about my move to Barcelona. I haven't officially moved yet. I made that clear in here. I'm in the process of moving right now, and I talk about my experience in Barcelona, why I decided that that's going to be a long-term move for me, different things that I've understood about the moving process, and what it's like moving abroad as a Black woman that also has some, I have an autoimmune disease. So there's that. This is my first piece for Essence magazine that just came out today. It's about domestic dupes for international destinations. I have 5 different places in there. And in this article, I included a bunch of Black-owned businesses, eateries, wineries, restaurants, wine bars, activities, whatever, in each of the destinations that I mentioned. I wrote this piece for VinePair in late February. There's a lot that came out in late February. Why? Black History Month. Truly, if you're a Black journalist, if you want to start writing, unfortunately, Black History Month is done. Black History Month is every month, but when it comes to, the editorial calendar, it's February. So if you really want to get your foot in the door, reaching out to people in December and January is key. I can talk about that at another point, but so this is an article that I wrote about the idea of Black fusion. Think about different elements of the Black diaspora coming together in cocktails, right? So think Nigerian meets Jamaican, or Haitian meets St. Lucian, or Louisiana meets Haiti, but experiencing this in a cocktail. This is another piece that I did for VinePair, also in February, featuring this James Beard Award-winning writer, author, activist, Toni Tipton Martin. She is a pillar within the Black journalistic community. I also did this piece for a wine enthusiast that is focused on Toni Tipton Martin. She has a new book that just came out that details Black history in the lens of cocktails. It's full of Black writers, Black cocktail makers, there's like a couple Snoop Dogg references and other people. It details Black history through the lens of cocktails, and there's recipes throughout. And so first of all, this is my friend. I'm obsessed with her. Her name is Tiffany, as you can see up here. And she won a massive award earlier, or last year at Tales of the Cocktail. And I actually was on the phone with her when she won the award, which was phenomenal. And so I just talk about her life, her experiences, how, and like what, yeah. So it's all about her. She's the drinking coach, right? She's everything. I made a couple grand off of all of those. Not like individually, but like I made a couple grand off of those, right? So, which is fun. It's great. It's very helpful to like help me pay bills and things, right? So why am I saying any of this now? There's space in an editorial realm for everybody. And if you are interested, and you don't, there's a lot of people, like I think about travel writers, like more traditional kinds of travel writers. There's a lot of money that people can spend to try and enter journalism. And you don't necessarily have to. You can write about your destination as it is through your own lens. If you can identify, and I think that this is why I'm seeing the connection between my original, like what I always talk about on here, which truly I can talk about forever. There's always too much content. When it comes to like decentering men and understanding what it means to really care for yourself and how to show that in your relationships with others and also with yourself. Like there's that, and there's this new found space of journalism, right? So as an independent writer, I have to know my voice so clearly. I need to be able to write something down and have it sound like me. I need somebody to, and I didn't realize it at the time because I never studied journalism. I entered this space accidentally, and it has afforded me a life beyond my wildest dreams. But I didn't realize this retrospectively. The first piece that I ever wrote for somebody, I read it back to myself and I was like, whoa, sounds like me. And then, sometimes I show it to other people and they go, yeah, Shanna, that it reads like you speak. And that's what you want. If you are able to take away all of the noise, and other people's influences and other people's thoughts about how you should sound, how you should be, what you should care about. If you are really able to identify who am I and what do I sound like, AKA your voice, there is so much space in journalism, in freelance, independent journalism for you. And that not only is there money to be made, but because of the kinds of journalism that I do, I focus on food, beverage, and travel. I travel all the time for not my money. I eat all the time for not my money. I meet all of these amazing people throughout the world, but I know a journalist who her thing, and she's in her 50s, right? Her thing, she loves diving, deep sea diving. So she gets flown out around the world to deep sea dive and write about it. Truly, honest to God, truly, if there is something that you are passionate about, that you can talk about ad nauseum, there is a space in journalism for you. There's adventure journalism, there's disability journalism, there's sustainability, there's there are people that collect rocks. There's a new form of what is it called? Well, it's not new, but there's a growing trend in travel journalism that's astro travel. So people that travel the world, not astrology, but astronomy, traveling to look at the stars, trying to find the clearest spaces so that way you could observe what's happening in the heavens. There's spaces for people to write about these things and to pay you to write about these things, because independent voices are craved in journalism. And especially if it doesn't sound like something that could be made with AI. Independent thought and experiences and interaction is really what's going to help people that want to enter this space, whether it's part-time, whether it's full-time, whether it's whatever, right? I will say full-time workers, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in the journalistic space, it's scary for those that are in this full time. People are getting laid off left, right, front, and center. Entire editorial departments shut down like overnight. People getting like hundreds of people getting like locked out of their accounts in the middle of the workday. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. As an independent, everybody, there's no such thing as a perfect job, right? There's no such thing as a perfect job. My ADHD makes what I do perfect for who I am, right? So there's that. But if you're curious about how to do this, like how to enter, how to start, just know that there's a space for you. Just know that there's a space for you if you are authentically yourself. And also be sure to like autocorrect. Like make sure that you're using like do spell check. That's what I mean. Grammarly, it's free. It is very helpful for people. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. If you guys have any questions about this or you want to like talk to me, okay, this is now a light plug. On my website, I can do, if somebody wants like a one-on-one to be like, okay, so these are the things that I'm particularly passionate about. Oh, Shayna, what are your thoughts? Go on my website, book a consultation if you're down for that. If not, totally fine, genuinely totally fine. I just really wanted to share my experience of this because there's so much out there for people. There's so much free out there for people in general, but there's also just so many opportunities out there that were not talked about in school. I know people that study journalism that look at what I do and are like, Shayna, how did you do this? Can you tell me how to get into this? And I'm like, how didn't anybody tell you this exists? Like you paid big monies to learn about this. And they're like, no. Well, to be fair, I did technically make this job for myself and now, I don't know, life is crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. And now back to the regularly scheduled content. Unless you guys have questions. If you have questions, feel free to type them below. But yeah, all right. Talk to you later. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.